Welcome, everybody, to the Lormerons Kings Plate race meeting. It's great to be back with you all as we go through the program for you. We start with the Trippy Stakes in the running of the second race, where Justin Snaith has got the Roman Agent as the favourite at 28-10. There's been talk about the Vaughan Marshall, baby, a horse called One Stripe. Watch out for that. They've shortened that to 7-2. And number 9, Sweetie Darling, not out of it either, is at 11-2. Raymond Danielson's got the ride for the other Kotson horse. He's got a few in here, Kotson. He's got Commanding and Sound of the Sea. And let me tell you, they're all not out of it. They've all got chances. Darren Burrows on the line. Morning, Darren. How's it going?
Good, Clyde. A good card ahead of us. I believe we can make money. I've suggested a couple of strikes for the day. And my first one starts in race 2, Roman Agent. Now, when a horse catches my eye like he did on debut, they usually do win on in their second start. I was very impressed with the manner in which he quickened up. He's got a speedy pedigree. Secret of Victoria, his dam was top class. They're all that Grey family, Mystic Spring, Rabia. They're all very good. And I expect him to get off the market the second time of asking. And I did hear the Snaith comments on YouTube, and they said this is their best bet for the day.
Okay, well, that's very interesting. Then coming out of the Snaith camp, Daryl, you on the same page?
Clyde, I'm not disputing that it was a very promising debut, and he certainly can come on in leaps and bounds from that run. But these juvenile races on Kings Plate Day can tend to throw up a result, Clyde. So I don't think it's as clear cut as what Darren makes out to be. Would I be surprised to see him trot up? Absolutely not. One Stripe, number 5, you said there's been a lot of support for him. I had a look at his pedigree. His dam won over 24.50. So there's a lot of stamina on the dam side, but there's talk for him, so I respect that. The computer form in the front page says place chance. Then I put in number 6, Commanding, another one that had a fair enough debut. Number 9, Sweetie Darling, the filly in the race. And I put in 2 scratchings as well, Clyde, just to double up with this favourite. So I'm playing the safe route. I just want to get through the first leg of the bout.
Fair enough. All right, let's
Clyde, I just want to add one thing. Don't mind. That time of Roman Agent wasn't great. There was a work rider event on the same day over the same course and distance, and the work rider winner was quicker and carried more weight.
Okay, well, that's interesting to note. Let's put the bipods up now and take a look at what you guys have decided to do. We're going, of course, in this particular case with Daryl Marie's bipod. It's up on the screen at the moment. He's got a few bankers. Second leg is bankering the 4. Second last leg is bankering the 3. And the last leg is going to banker the 7. So that's pretty much how he sees the Lormerons Kings Plate bipod play out on Saturday afternoon. Now let's get on to the place accumulators. This is the Franschhoek Motor Museum Winchester Sprint Cup. The Franschhoek Motor Museum, owned by Johan Rupert himself, and allows all of those vehicles to be on display at Kenilworth Racecourse, which is great for you if you haven't been out to go and see it. Note that 9 Yellow Porsche Road is not running in a race like this, but number 4, Isi Vungu Vungu, Daryl Marie, is priced up at even money. I don't know if that's the right price. I see Thunderstruck is 33-10, and does it come down to those two?
Clyde, strictly on ratings, Isi Vungu Vungu at even money represents value. If you have a look at the best weighted column, he's £9 best in, Clyde, which equates to 4.5 kilograms. But then again, he's having the same preparation as what he did going into the Cape Flying last year when he got touched off by Mr. Kopp. So one can certainly say that Peter Muscat is going to leave some meat on the bone. But, he's a class animal. The comments on the Hollywood website with regards to the syndicate says his work has been solid and he looks great. I I think he's a better 1,000-meter horse. So if you go back to that Mercury run, he beat Thunderstruck. That was over 1,200. And he's 2.5 kilograms. So I'm going to say he's going to confirm that form with Thunderstruck. I actually make a horse like Rio Karari his biggest danger. But Isi Vunga Vunga, his class should pull him through, Clyde. I'm happy enough bankering him in the PA. I'm not rushing out to have a punt on him, but I expect him to win.
Your side, Darren, which way are you going?
Clyde, I like Essie Vunga Vunga. I think he's a horse to beat, but he has had a long layoff since the end of July. So that's got to be the only concern. If he's 90% fit, I think he'll just about win. But there are dangers. Thunderstruck's a very good horse. You've got a horse like Bereave. His last start was a cracking effort behind Thunderstruck. He was running on strongly, and Adam Marcus is in form, which is a plus. Rio Karari getting on a bit, 7 years old. Ready to Charge is a very good horse. Now, last time out, he blew the start. Then he moved up to them, and he obviously couldn't find extra. And then Resonate's also a very good horse on his day, but he's lost his form a bit. So is he Vunga Vunga the horse to beat? I'm not having a bet though.
Okay, so there's your selection. Isi Vungu Vungu, both from Daryl and Darren's perspective. But let's see what the boys are putting up in terms of the play. We're going like this with Daryl Marie's place accumulator. He is prepared to banker Isi Vungu Vungu here. Then a few bankers later on, you'll note in the fourth leg, banker the 3, and in the fifth leg, he is also bankering the 7. So that's pretty much how we see our Lormeron King's Plate place accumulator play out on the Saturday afternoon. Welcome back to the Scepter Stakes, the Cartier Scepter Stakes. What a field, my goodness me. There's 16 of them that are going to line up over here, and some decent sorts in the making. One with reference, of course, to the likes of Mrs. Geriatrics. They'll be hoping that she comes back to her better form. And I see that they've priced her up, Darren, at 15-4 favourite. 3 October Morn is 4-1 second choice. And number 15, Golden Hostess, is 7-1. You just got to ask yourself the question as to whether or not Mrs. Geriatrics will be able to find her best form again.
Yes, Clyde, this filly last time out, she was drawn deep, but she ended up at the back of the field from a hopeless position. She actually, turning into the straight, she had no chance of winning. But the manner in which he quickened up to run fourth was very eye-catching. The winner, Beach Bomb, is going to end up a champion, I can tell you that. But her third run in Cape Town and the drop-in trip to 1,200 meters. Clyde, I expect her to win. Dangers, October Morn, unlucky last time out. Golden Hostess, better over this sort of trip, and a couple of others.
All right, so you big on Mrs. Geriatrics. All right, let's hope for the public that she does come back to her better form. Daryl, are you with her or you got something else going?
Clyde, I'd love to see her bounce back to winning ways. My concern is the 1,200. Although she's unbeaten up the straight, I get that feeling that she's not going to be at her best of a 1,200 anymore. So I respect her. If you like her, you have to have healthy respect for Winter Clyde. On paper, there's very little separating the two of them. She's also back up the straight. Best weighted is number 15, Golden Hostess. I don't think she was moving too well in her later start, but she comes back in trip. She's been successful over this course and distance twice before, and she'll be rattling home. I think the value in the race is a very nice filly, Clyde. Number 6, Kiss Me Captain. Now, her first run in the province, she got it right. And then you can see last time out, she showed no pace whatsoever. She was never in contention. That was her second run after a rest. She's unbeaten over the 1,200. And have a look at the best weighted column. She's second best in over here. So I think she's the value in the race. I also respect October Morn. I think the 1,000 meters is too quick for her now. She's actually bolted up over 6 furlongs in heavy conditions, so 1,200 will be ideal for her. I'm just wondering if Gareth Wright had the chance to choose between October Morn and Winter Cloud. So I think the value in the race is number 6, Kiss Me Captain.
Yeah, so two schools of thought over here. And Muzieni has now got the ride on Kiss Me Captain. Interesting to see how that's all going to play out. Okay, Mr. Burrows, have you worked out a pick six? Let's see if he has. We'll put something up now. He's gone with Mr. Geriatrics. He says, if we're taking pick sixes, let's do the noble thing and banker her anyway. We'll go with her as the one to beat from Darren Burrows' perspective. Right, you're back with us. Welcome to the Anthony's Rupert Wine Premier Trophy. It's a Group 2. It's over 1,800 meters. Solid lineup of 13 of them. It'll go to the gate. Early market, when we did this Friday, had Pakaya, the 5 at 33 to 10, and number 4 At My Command at 7 to 2, second choice. 6 Mucho Dinero is 11 to 2. That's the one the Grand Fanikek stays with, as opposed to riding Pakaya. And then he's got 17 to 2 about the 7 Sugar Mountain, yeah, Darren. And I guess a horse like Without Question might not even be out, without a chance here. What do you think?
Clyde, there's a couple here. Without Question's a big runner. He had a sprint up last time out. He's had 2 runs back. He's got a good draw. He's well in. Everything in his favour to bounce back to better form. Now, Pakaya, very unlucky loser last time out. He would have got up to win if it didn't close on him the final 50. He could be back to best and has to go in. At My Command ran well above his rating last time out. Good second to see it again. And then don't ignore Rascallion. They always put him quite big in the betting, 33 to 1, 66 to 1. He's actually a better horse than that. He's run against the best. He's a grade 1 horse. And Bernard Fade Herb for Vaughan Marshall. Don't exclude Rascallion at a big price.
All right, so there are a few that you like here, Darren. Daryl Marie, from your perspective?
Clyde, best weighted At My Command, 4 pounds, 2 kilograms ahead of Rascallion. Now, At My Command, if you have a look at his form since being gelded, he's progressed beautifully, Clyde, in each and every start. Last time out was an absolutely cracking effort. You can see he did pick up a £10 penalty for running second. But I don't think that's going to be of any concern because this horse has turned the corner since being gelded, and he'll even be better over this 1,800. Have a look at his penultimate start. In his second run after arrest, he was drawn 13 out of 13. He ran just behind Montien. In that race was Pakaya. I know Pakaya was returning after a layoff, but he's comfortably held on that run. But if you just watch Pakaya's later start, you'll agree that he was very unlucky, and he also progressed beautifully in his second run after arrest. So I've got respect for him. And then, Clyde, I'm a little bit confused with regards to the jockey bookings Without Question and Mucho Dinero. Now, we know Grand Fanikek's retained Nick Johnson, so I'm sure he would have had the choice, and he's opted to go for Mucho Dinero, but I've got a strong preference for Without Question. So, Clyde, these races around the bend at Kenilworth, you don't know if they're going in or out or what's the story. So I've gone safe numbers 3, 4, and 5.
Okay, 3, 4, and 5. From Daryl Marie's perspective, it does tend to have that look to it where, there are at least a handful of horses that can win. Right, let's take a look. What are we doing? The jackpots, are we? Race 5, we have got a jackpot from Darren Burrows. He's gone field by 2, 3, and 4, by 4 and 7, by 10, 11, and 16. Time now for the Cartier Paddock Stakes, a Group 1 over 1,800 metres where the fillies and mares take each other on. Unfortunately, 7 Saki is not running, but this is going to turn out to be an absolute cracker where we've got 3 Princess Keller 13 to 20. She's that short in the betting. I don't know if she should be that short, Daryl, because I think Red Palace is going to be all over her.
Not for me, Clyde. You know, for me, this is as close as what you get to a penalty kick in racing. You saying she's 13 to 20? Apparently, on some websites, could be Interbet, she's trading closer to 8.5 to 10. So she's going to drop from a current price of 13 to 20. You know, Clyde, she's world class, and I can't see her getting beaten. That's all I can say. Have a look at Beach Bomb. Now, Beach Bomb, yes, she was impressive, and she's improving, and she's done absolutely nothing wrong to date. But she beat Silver Sanctuary. Now, Silver Sanctuary in the summer pudding, right? She beat a horse called Emregina by less than a length. And Emregina was giving her 7.5 kilograms, Clyde. How do you compare Princess Kella and Emregina? You can't. So I really think Princess Kella, barring any accident, will come home lonely.
Okay, so you're very, very bullish on Princess Keller. But Darren, what did you make of Red Palace's run in that last start of hers, where she ran an absolute cracker? If you go back to when she got run down by Snow Pilot in what was the Guineas. I mean, wasn't that a terrific run?
Yes, Clyde, that was a great run. I spoke to Anthony Andrews, and he said he was tracking a horse in front of him, and when he switched this filly out, she took off on her own, and she actually hit the front too early. And he said she was just found wanting right at the end. But this is going to suit her, the 1800 slow run race. She can dictate or sit right on top of them, and she'll be right there. Princess Keller, her 2 runs as a 6-year-old have been below par. I think I can't see her improving much from now on. When she got beat by King Regent, I was shocked at 5 to 10. I know it was coming back after a break, but she didn't give that kick. And last time out, she found nothing in the closing stages. She was beaten by that horse, what was it, At My Command. Charles Dickens ran below par. She was stopping. She's not at her best anymore. And strictly on her last 2 runs, I've got to lean towards Beach Bomb. Now, for her to win from an impossible position last time out, she quickened up so smartly to win the Fillies Guineas. And I expect her to run over Princess Keller.
All right, so we've got 3 schools of thoughts here. Interesting race is going to be the Cartier Paddock. Let's have a look at what the boys are deciding to do. In this particular event, Darren Burrows is going Beach Bomb, outright win. Daryl Marie is going straight up Princess Keller. I'm going straight up Red Palace. Can you believe it's that time of the year again? The Lomeron's King's Plate, weight for age, Group 1 over the mile, and it's going to be an absolute humdinger. I spoke to Pierre Stradham the other day about See It Again. He's very confident about a win here. Charles Dickens is a massive, massive runner. And I don't know, Mr. Marie, does it come down to those 2, or is there a lurker in there? Is something else going to blow them over?
Let's hope not, Clyde. I don't know if you recall a few months ago, Fabian Habib had Zeus running in a staying race, and he sent a horse to the front, and poor old Donald Geertsen got questioned and warned for making the pace for Zeus. Now, I've read in some articles that Speed Machine is going to be the pacemaker in this race, so I'm not too sure how all that works. But yeah, so apparently the pace is going to be on. Clyde, I'm in Charles Dickens's camp. See It Again did win last time out, yes, and he beat Charles Dickens comfortably. But in the back of my mind, See It Again is not a miler, Clyde. He's not a miler, and Charles Dickens, he turned it on too well last time out. He came into the straight far back, and probably at the 400 he was close to being in front. I like the fact that it's a bigger field, Clyde. He can be hidden away for longer. And this horse has got a sensational turn of foot. I'm not saying See It Again can't beat him again. I just believe that Charles Dickens is a better miler, and he has the best weight for age mile race in the country. And they're carrying level weight. So I have to favor Charles Dickens. I'm going for him. I'm banking him in all my bets. I'll be having a bet on him. I hope he drifts out. I've got respect for See It Again, but I've seen many a good horse go flat in their second run in Cape Town. There's a horse, he's having his peak run, yes, but he's having his second run in Cape Town. And I've seen time and time again horses, Clyde, in their second run in the province, run below par. So for me, Charles Dickens, a bank in all bets.
Well, they both run off the rating of 132. So this is where they're going to now sort of level the playing fields. Mr. Burrows, which one?
Well, Clyde, touching on Charles Dickens, if you see the size of his neck, this horse to race and win more races, he's going to need gelding, which they will never do. But you must see the size of his neck. That put me right off him completely. And he does things the wrong way. He holds his head skew in his races. That is my concern, and I've got to go with See It Again. He absolutely trotted up last time out. He's better now over a mile because he gets into the race early and he doesn't tail off like he used to early on in his career. And I expect See It Again to win. I think he's going to sit a couple of lengths off the speed. He can get the run of the race. Charles Dickens, obviously a serious runner. And Snow Pilot of the 3-year-olds. We've seen Jet Dark win as a 3-year-old after getting beat in the Guineas. Snow Pilot, he could be the lurker.
Okay, so we've got that. Basically an absolute two-horse race. You guys now need to make up your minds. Which ones are you going for? Charles Dickens or See It Again? 4 and 7. Let's see what the boys are doing in this event. You notice that Darren Burrows is going with See It Again, straight up. And Daryl Marie says, no, he's not going to beat number 7, Charles Dickens. Back with us for the 8th race now, the penultimate of the day. And here, number 6, Tough Terrain, is the 9-2 favourite. I guess, Darren, would it be one of the most difficult races on the card? The running of the 8th race, the Jet Dark Stakes?
Clyde, it does look one of the trickier races, but this horse Dance Variety has come very well for the Adam Marcus stable. He does rate him. He said he's getting better and better. Last time out, 3 lengths of Thunderstruck. We saw a yellow Porsche Road come from that race and win comfortably. A couple of others ran well. And dropping in class, I think Dance Variety will be right there. I've got healthy respect for the 3-year-old Future Variety. I think he's got 200 odd owners, that big syndicate of theirs, and he won a very good race last time out. Of the rest, Cafe Culture, he's won 3 on the trot. I expect him to run well with Richard Fourie, and then Tough Terrain and Gimme Lightning of the rest.
All right, as we thought, there will be a few in here, but there you go. You've got some Adam Marcus information regarding 11 Dance Variety. So there we go, trading around 10-1. Daryl Marie, any of those shrewdies that we can include in trifectas?
Yeah, a nightmare of a race, Clyde. There's close to a full field over here. They're going to be spread right across the track. We don't know where the grain's going to be favoring. Last couple of meetings, it has been down the inside up the straight. So, Tough Terrain, quickened up beautifully last time out, can certainly follow up. Tananga has been gelded. I'm keen to see how he goes. He's a lovely sort in the making. Cafe Cultures, the hard-knocking, more exposed horse in the race. RC Blast, I think the 1,000 meters recently that he's been contesting races over has been too quick for him. So I'm really keen to see him over the 1,200 again. And I'm sure Bernard would get him into the race early. And then Future Variety, this horse has certainly trimmed down since being gelded and he's always had a high reputation. unbeaten over the course and distance. So let's see how he goes. But he's towards the outside. So I don't know. I'm playing in the dark over here, Clyde.
No, well, that's understandable. It is that kind of race, isn't it? Let's put selections up then for the gentlemen and ladies out there to have a look at what we want to do. We're recommending a Daryl Marie double, and we're going 5, 6, 10, 14, 16 here. And the last leg, 1, 5, 8, and 10. Back with us now, and we're on to the 9th and final race here at Hollywood Bets Kenilworth. And number 8, Aragosta is the favourite at 28-10 for the Michael de Kock stable and Richard Fourie. They are top of the boards. And Daryl, I've got to ask the question, is this the horse to beat?
Not too sure about that, but he's certainly in with a huge chance. Cracking ride by Richard last time out. You know, he asked him to run a long way from home, Clyde, and he just kept on rolling. Yeah, so I can certainly see him follow up on that victory. If you like his chances, you have to have healthy respect for Razor Hallelujah and one-way traffic. So I don't know what to make of it. It all depends on the run of the race and who gets a smooth run, Clyde. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, you got a horse, number 5, Future Swing. The furthest he's been currently is 2,000 meters, and he was extending at the finish on that occasion. He's got 52 to shoulder, and he's unexposed over this trip. If he gets it and he's more effective, he could be the horse to beat. And then, according to jockey arrangements, Clyde, Triple Time is not the elect. I mean, obviously, Grant van Niekerk has opted for one-way traffic over him. But he's a very nice horse. And he's another one that's unexposed over the extended trip. So don't ignore his chances.
Yeah, and I guess you've got to include Nabras. He's a natural inclusion. What's happened to Otto Lucan, Daryl? Well, I mean, you would have thought he's the type of horse that would improve, but he hasn't really shone, has he?
Yeah, Clyde, he hasn't really disgraced himself. I don't think Garrett's exactly firing in the Western Cape. His horses are running well, but they're yet to turn the corner. I don't know what to say, Clyde. Maybe it could be a very nice horse once he goes back to KZN, because I'm sure they'll be looking at the Gold Cup with him. I wouldn't be shocked to see him feature over here, Clyde. He's getting closer recently, but the stable's not exactly firing.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that, Daryl. Let me get to Darren Burrows quickly. Darren, just your summary of the glorious Goodwood Chairman's Cup over the 2,500, where they start in front of the grandstand for all the people to go and get close up and see. What do you like?
Clyde, I like Future Swing quite a lot. I think he's going to absolutely love the 2,500 meters. The furthest he went was 2,000 in the Algoa Cup, where he was extending from the field. Last time out, he was closing the gap fast to Master Redoute in the Peninsula, 1,800. And 52 kilos. So he receives 10 kilos from Aragosta. I think that's too much weight to give away. So Future Swing, 8-1, I thought worth a nice each way.
Okay, well, that's how you're going to round up your day. Thank you, Darren Burrows, for your time. Future Swing in the last race. Maybe it will be Muzieni that delivers the goods in the last. Let's take a look then for our final event on the card. From Darren's perspective, a nice 9-10-1 shot. Future Swing, the one to use right at the back of the day.